The story of one of the most important molecules in your body begins with a headache. A violent, pounding headache. It is 1850. A teenage Alfred Nobel has just arrived in Paris to study chemistry. He finds himself in the laboratory of Professor Pelouse, standing next to a man named Ascanio Sobrero. Sobrero is anxious. He holds a beaker of a new substance he has just created. He calls it pyroglycerine. Sobrero takes a tiny glass rod, dips it into the oil, and touches it to his tongue.
It feels like my skull is being crushed from the inside.
Sobrero was terrified of his creation. He warned the world against it. He said it was too volatile, too dangerous to be useful. He wished he had never discovered it.
It destroys. If I heat this 1 degree too high, we are dead.
But Alfred Nobel didn't see danger. He saw power. He took that oily liquid back to Sweden. He mixed it with clay. He stabilized it, and he gave it a new name. Dynamite. Dynamite changed the face of the planet. It made Nobel one of the richest men in history. Cities rose with his powder, and cities fell. The merchant of death, they called him. But as he grew older, the smoke cleared. And in the silence of his final years, the explosive oil came back to haunt him, in a way he never could have predicted. To understand the irony of Nobel's fate, we have to go back much further, about 300,000 years. Your ancestors didn't practice breathwork for wellness. They held their breath to survive, to hunt, to hide, to dive for food in freezing waters. Evolution doesn't care about comfort. It cares about not dying. So it gifted them, and you, a master switch. When you hold your breath and submerge, your body triggers the mammalian dive reflex. It is a radical reorganization of your biology. Your heart rate drops, sometimes to half its resting pace. Your spleen contracts, injecting fresh, oxygen-rich blood cells into your veins like biological blood doping. But here is the critical part. To keep your brain alive while the rest of your body shuts down, your blood vessels need to dilate, and fast. They need a signal, a chemical key that screams, "Open up!" That key is a ghost molecule called nitric oxide. It floods your arteries during hypoxic stress, forcing them to expand and keeping the blood flowing. It kept your ancestors alive, and today it sits dormant in your cells, waiting for a signal you've stopped sending. San Remo, Italy, 1896. Nobel is dying. His heart is failing. He suffers from angina pectoris, a condition where the arteries of the heart clamp shut, starving the muscle of oxygen. The pain is agonizing. His doctors in Paris have sent a new experimental medicine. They say it is the only thing that can stop the pain.
It is a proprietary blend. Please, just take the drops. Trinitrin? I know chemistry, Doctor. I don't know trinitrin.
Nobel stares at the bottle. He refuses to open it. He suspects he knows what's inside, and the irony is too much for him to bear.
Monsieur, you must take this.
We will come back to this bottle, because what was inside it wasn't just a medicine, it was a biological key. While Nobel was refusing his medicine, others were learning to hack this system without drugs. 1988. Harvard scientists trek to a monastery in the Himalayas. They are studying monks who practice tumo, or inner fire meditation. They wrap these monks in freezing wet sheets in a 40-degree room. In minutes, the sheets aren't just dry, they are steaming. The monks are generating massive amounts of body heat. Normally, the cold would constrict their blood vessels to save heat, but the monks are doing the opposite. They are using breath control to force their vessels to dilate, flooding their skin with warm blood. They are manually overriding their autonomic nervous system. Fast forward to 2021. Italian researchers at the world's deepest pool take blood samples from elite divers at 42 meters deep. They found that during a breath hold dive, the levels of nitric oxide metabolites in the blood didn't just go up, they skyrocketed. A 410% increase, not from supplements, not from medication, from the pressure of the deep and the holding of the breath. Here is why this matters to you, sitting at your desk right now. Your arteries have a biological age. Young arteries are compliant. They stretch like a fresh rubber garden hose. When your heart pumps, the hose expands to absorb the pressure. But as you age, you lose that elasticity. Your arteries turn into rigid PVC pipes. When the heart pumps into a stiff pipe, there is no expansion. The pressure wave shoots through at high speed, literally hammering your organs. This is pulse wave velocity, and it is a leading predictor of death. Nitric oxide is the softener. It relaxes the smooth muscle cells in the artery wall, keeping them flexible. The monks, the divers, the cavemen, they are bathing their arteries in this molecule. You are likely starving them. So, can you replicate the diver's physiology without the risk of drowning? One desk worker, chronological age 45, measured his pulse wave velocity. It was 8.2 meters per second. His arteries were stiff. He spent 6 weeks doing a specific 5-minute breathwork protocol every morning. No diving, no freezing sheets. 6 weeks later, he retested. His numbers dropped to 6.8 meters per second. Effectively, his arterial age dropped from 45 to 30. His cardiologist called it biologically plausible. Here is the protocol he used. It utilizes the humming effect. Research shows that humming increases nasal nitric oxide by 15-fold compared to silent breathing. Step 1. Sit upright. Gravity helps the blood pressure regulation. Step 2. Inhale through the nose for 4 seconds. Step 3. Hold for 7 seconds. This builds mild CO2 tolerance. Step 4. Exhale for 8 seconds, making a low, vibrating or ha sound. That vibration is physically shaking the nitric oxide out of your sinuses and into your lungs. Now, back to Alfred Nobel. He died refusing the trinitrin drops. Why? Because trinitrin was a cover name. The bottle contained nitroglycerin, the exact same explosive oil he had used to create dynamite. Nobel couldn't believe that the substance which caused explosions could possibly heal a heart. He thought it was quackery, but he was wrong. It took science 100 years to figure out why. Nitroglycerin works because the body breaks it down into nitric oxide. Remember Sobrero's devil's headache? That was nitric oxide, flooding his brain, swelling the vessels, pressing against the skull. The same expansion that causes agony in the head brings relief to a suffocating heart.
In 1998, the Nobel Prize in Medicine was awarded for a deceptively simple discovery.
Your blood vessels don't just open on their own. They wait for a signal. That signal is nitric oxide. 3 scientists won Alfred Nobel's money for discovering the secret hidden inside Alfred Nobel's own medicine. The cure was right there in his hand. He just didn't understand the mechanism.